It is the morning of September the 3rd, 1928. In a cluttered laboratory at St Mary's Hospital in London, a Scottish bacteriologist steps back through the door after a family holiday in Suffolk. His name is Alexander Fleming. On his bench sits a stack of glass Petri dishes, forgotten in the summer heat, growing things he did not intend to grow. Fleming is 47 years old, a veteran of the Royal Army Medical Corps. He has spent the Great War watching soldiers die from infected wounds, their bodies overwhelmed by bacteria that no medicine could touch. That memory shapes everything he does. He has been searching for nearly a decade for a substance that might kill microbes without killing the patient. His laboratory is famously untidy. Colleagues joke that Fleming's benchtop is itself a kind of ecosystem. Cultures sit in stacks, half-labeled, waiting for their moment. On this particular morning, he begins sorting through the dishes he had left behind, prepared to discard most of them into a shallow tray of disinfectant. Then he pauses. One dish, containing Staphylococcus bacteria, has been contaminated by a stray mold. That in itself is not unusual. What is unusual is the ring of clear, empty agar surrounding the mold, a perfect halo where the bacteria have simply vanished. Fleming leans in and utters what will become one of the most famous understatements in science. That's funny. The mold is a species of Penicillium, a common household fungus, the same family that ripens blue cheese. Somehow, a spore has drifted in through an open window, or up from the mycology lab on the floor below, and landed on Fleming's abandoned culture. It has grown. And as it grew, it produced something lethal to the bacteria around it. Fleming photographs the dish. He preserves it. He begins methodically to grow the mold in broth and to test its properties. Within weeks, he has confirmed that the liquid the mold produces kills a wide range of dangerous bacteria, including Streptococcus, Meningococcus, and the diphtheria bacillus. He gives the substance a name. He calls it penicillin. In 1929, Fleming publishes his findings in the British Journal of Experimental Pathology. The paper is careful, thorough, and almost entirely ignored. He notes that the substance is non-toxic to animals. He suggests it might one day be useful as a surface antiseptic. But he cannot purify it, and he cannot make enough of it to matter. The problem is chemistry. Penicillin in its raw form is unstable. It degrades quickly. Fleming, a bacteriologist by training, lacks the biochemical tools to isolate the active compound. He shares samples of the mold with anyone who asks. But for nearly a decade, the discovery sits in scientific limbo, a curiosity in the pages of a journal no one reads closely. Then, in 1938, at the Sir William Dunn School of Pathology in Oxford, a team assembles that will change everything. It is led by an Australian pharmacologist named Howard Florey and a German-born biochemist named Ernst Chain. They are searching the scientific literature for natural antibacterial substances. Chain stumbles upon Fleming's forgotten paper. Florey and Chain believe the substance is worth another look. They recruit an eccentric biochemist named Norman Heatley, a man who improvises apparatus from bathtubs, milk churns, and bedpans. Together they begin the painstaking work of concentrating penicillin from mold broth. By 1940, they have enough to test on 8 mice injected with lethal doses of Streptococcus. 4 mice receive penicillin, 4 do not. The next morning, the 4 treated mice are alive and well. The 4 untreated mice are dead. Florey turns to his colleague and says quietly, "It looks like a miracle." The first human trial comes in February 1941. The patient is Albert Alexander, a 43-year-old Oxford policeman who scratched his face on a rose thorn and developed a raging infection. His face is swollen. His eye has been removed. He is dying. The Oxford team administers their precious supply of penicillin, and within days Alexander begins to recover. But the supply runs out. The team even tries to extract penicillin from Alexander's own urine to reuse it. It is not enough. The policeman relapses and dies. The lesson is brutal and clear. Penicillin works. What the world lacks is a way to produce it in industrial quantities. Britain in 1941 is a nation at war. Its factories are pulverized by German bombs. Its chemists are stretched thin. Florey and Heatley fly to the United States, carrying vials of penicillium spores smeared into the lining of their coats. They arrive in Peoria, Illinois, at a government laboratory devoted to fermentation research. The Americans transform the problem. They discover that corn steep liquor, a waste product of corn milling, dramatically boosts yield. They screen mold strains from around the world. The winner comes from a moldy cantaloupe found in a Peoria market, a strain that produces 200 times more penicillin than Fleming's original. Pharmaceutical giants join the effort. By D-Day, the 6th of June, 1944, Allied forces carry enough penicillin to treat every wounded soldier who needs it. Infections that would have killed men in the trenches of the First World War are now cured within days. Amputations plummet, deaths from battlefield sepsis collapse. The drug is called, quite simply, a miracle. In 1945, Alexander Fleming, Howard Florey, and Ernst Chain share the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. In his acceptance lecture, Fleming issues a warning that history has largely forgotten. He cautions that bacteria exposed to insufficient doses of penicillin can become resistant. He predicts, with unsettling accuracy, the age of antibiotic resistance to come. Fleming himself remains modest to the end. He calls his discovery a chance observation. He credits the wind, the open window, the forgotten dish. But chance, as Louis Pasteur once wrote, favors the prepared mind. Fleming had spent 20 years preparing for a moment he could not have predicted. The Petri dish itself survives. It sits today in the collections of the British Museum, a small circle of glass and dried agar that changed the trajectory of human life. Before penicillin, a scratch could kill. Childbirth was a lottery. Pneumonia was called the old man's friend because it took the elderly quietly and without cure. Alexander Fleming died in 1955 of a heart attack at the age of 73. His ashes rest in St. Paul's Cathedral. He left behind a world in which the average human lifespan had expanded by decades, largely because of a mold that drifted through a London window on a summer afternoon. "That's funny," he had said. And so it was.